knight g4, and I don't hate white's next move, queen d3. I mean, you know, maybe you're looking to target like this. Maybe white wants e5. Like maybe secretly white is a genius. Black plays pawn to e6, and now white plays knight h4. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I cannot explain this move, but I don't really care because it's not a blunder of a piece. Black now plays queen b6, which adds a little bit of pressure to that pawn. And white now repeats moves. Now, Martin likes to finish games, okay? Martin is a fast finisher. It's why he has children. And he sometimes will repeat moves in the middle of a... Like, he'll just play knight h4, queen b6, and knight f3 back. And I thought, okay, well, they're just going to repeat moves 3 times and, you know, it'll be a draw. Which has happened. But no! Knight h6, and black is like, I'm going to get this bishop. Now, of course, white should move the bishop, or white should play danger levels, or so on. But actually, knight d2, and black takes on f7. Oh my god. Oh my god. Black Martin, well, I have no evidence of that, but Martin playing with the black pieces has captured the bishop on f7. White now plays the move f3, which is just simply a bad move, and now black has the advantage. Black has the advantage. The pawn can be captured. Excellent stuff. Look at that. And now knight e5 and knight c6. And now it doesn't matter that Martin's king is in the center because Martin can go here. The white knight goes to a4, attacking the queen on b6. And now the queen slides over and targets the knight. But here, Martin with white plays queen takes d4, simultaneously winning a pawn and defending his knight. And Martin with black plays pawn to e5, attacking the queen. Queen to c4 offers an exchange of queens, which white should not be trading queens here. Not a good idea. White should not be trading queens because white is down material. And not to mention, after the queen trade, there could be a fork. Admittedly, the fork isn't as effective because there is knight b6 check. And then, you know, something like this. But you're going to win the knight because it's going to get trapped. So, but none of that happens because here, the 250 elo bot strikes. Black plays b5 right away. And that blunders queen takes f7 check. But instead of that, white hangs his queen. Brutal. Yeah. Tough. It was just a matter of time. However, one redeeming quality is the fact that we know that Martin playing with black will probably blunder something as well. Well, let us begin the second phase of the game. The opening has concluded, kind of like the first plot twist of the movie has occurred, and now the villain is ahead. White plays the move h3. White doesn't really know what to do. The truth is, when you're playing against the queen, sometimes the best thing to do is to sit back and relax. What black should do now is probably launch an attack over here, making sure their king is protected, or simplify, or take a free knight. King e7. Yeah, what you shouldn't do when you are up a queen and have a bunch of pieces is probably move your king. King e7 is not a good move. Now the knight comes back to safety, and black plays the move bishop to e6, developing a bishop and safeguarding the pawn on c4 as well as the square on d5. White now makes yet another king move, which basically doesn't make any sense. Black at this point should either attack the king or open up the position or finish up development. Black should not move the king back to d7. That is just not a smart move. White continues to move the king because he's getting back to his old alcoholism. Knight to d8. A move that I cannot fully explain to you, but it does not blunder the knight, so I don't really mind. And now white plays the move rook to b1, which according to Stockfish is the second best move. And, you know, that says a lot, because Martin is 3,500 points lower than Stockfish. Black now plays king to e8, returning the king to his homeland and his home square. Maybe at that point he will return all the other pieces to their home squares as well. White plays the move pawn to a3 because I don't know what the hell else you're going to do. You are dead lost. Now white plays king to f2 because I don't know what the hell you're going to do. You're now dead lost. And then white plays king to g3 because I don't know. The king is just enjoying walking around the barracks of his castle while his queen has perished and all his other pieces are anemic and unable to participate in the battle. Pawn to a5 for reasons I cannot fully comprehend. Knight to d5, galloping into his opponent's position, but unable to land any threat because the horse cannot do damage to an entire castle on its own. Rook e1, a4, rook e2, rook h7, mindlessly shuffling the rooks back and forth as they have probably overdosed on some sort of poppy seed. Rook a1, knight e6, pawn to b4! And now a legendary moment in the history of chess, as Martin Bot has accidentally allowed the rare double en passant. Both pawns can passant at the same time. That's crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Ma'am, You know why you're here.
I just used what I had in my bag.
On such sensitive skin.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know when the line, and of course, yeah, he doesn't. He wastes his opportunity. White plays the move h4, black plays the move bishop d7. Again, black is just mindlessly shuffling. I think he's also kind of trying to disrespect his opponent a little bit here. He sort of senses that, like, white doesn't have anything to do, so he's gonna showboat, all right? He's, essentially what's happening here is Martin Bot, with the black pieces, hurt his opponent early in the fight. However, all of Martin Bot's friends bet on the fight to end in the 9th round, and it's the 2nd round. So what do you do in a 12-round boxing fight when it's the 2nd round and you dropped your opponent? You make the fight last until the 9th round. That's how it works, all right? So, knight to d4, knight to b5, queen retreating out of the position. Now even white takes a pawn. Look at that, knight takes c4. All right, fantastic stuff here. Rook a1, knight c6. Black is just shuffling. He's not concerned. Back and forth and back. Maybe white will even get back into the game. All right, knight to c4. Look at this shuffling. Rook h7. He's like, I'm not too concerned. Who's to say that I even want to win this game? All right, knight ac4, king f7, and now black says, okay, it's time to put my foot on the gas. And knight takes pawn. All right, I took a pawn. All right, and now my pawn is 3 squares away from queening. So this could be a problem, all right? And now white starts coming in. Bishop f6 attacks the rook. Black moves. Pawn to c4, attacking the knight on a3. All right, this is pretty dang stuff here, and black misses it. Now here Martin does something just absolutely sensational. The move pawn to c4 was played in order to open up the rook's vision on the knight, and the knight couldn't have taken the pawn because it was protected by the other knight. So with the rook's new vision on the knight, white goes here. That is an exceptionally stupid move. I mean, Martin literally had to go 2 more squares. That's it. He went here instead. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know. It's like you were driving to a destination and you saw it, but you parked the car like 2 miles away. I don't know. Now, black plays pawn to g5. That's just a free pawn. Bishop d7. Now there is a hanging knight and a hanging rook. And if you take the rook used to protect that square, so maybe you can play knight f6. Knight f6 will win you the queen. Now, perhaps what Martin saw in this position was that if you take the queen, you actually get mated. I don't think Martin saw that. Knight e3, back. Knight b1. All right, so now there is a hanging rook and another hanging rook. Rook c, wow. Queen g6, pinning the bishop to the king, but blundering the knight over here. Doesn't take it, damn. Now the knight escapes. All right, now we unpin ourselves, and now white starts advancing. Now, the bishops are staring at each other. That's just a free knight. That pawn could become a queen at any moment. The knight can gallop in and eat everybody. And let's not forget, black is up a queen. Rook d2, rook f2, pawn to g3. A lot of absent-minded shuffling. Pawn to f4, finally. Maybe something is going to open up. Nope, just kidding. Pawn to f5. What is even the count? Black is up 10 points of material. Okay, whoa. I had an alarm set for 9:50. I had an alarm set for 9:55. Very funny. I woke up many hours ago. Rook to d7. Rook to d2. And as we see, black is still showboating a little bit, but he takes a pawn. And now it's time, against all odds, black in this position does something absolutely sensational. Here, Martin Bot stops stalling the clock and finally lands a devastating blow. Bishop takes h4. You cannot take the bishop because of the pin. And now Martin is going to put the beat on Martin. Rook b2. And yes, he loses the pawn on a4. But now Martin plays queen takes g3, and for the first time in this game, mate in 6 has appeared in the evaluation. Queen takes g3, and that's it. And then here, Martin Bot plays the smartest, stupidest thing I have ever seen him play. Martin in this position, following up on the heels of this infiltration, plays the move king to h8. You would think king to h8 is back to the old ways of shuffling mindlessly and not doing anything of substance. King to h8 is a brilliant move.